Okay, hey guys. It feels like it's been forever since I've been trying to post this. It's only been like 6 days since I actually finished the whole PowerPoint, but I've been wanting to do it for so long. Anyways, I had some computer difficulties and here we are live. I'm super excited. So I'm going to go into it. So we're going to be talking about metabolic adaptation today. I'm super excited. So metabolic adaptation is essentially your body adapting to the amount of calories that you're providing it. So your body's turning those calories into energy. Often I tell people to think about the prehistoric ancestors. I love this explanation because it really makes sense. So when there was lack of food or little calories for our ancestors, it usually meant famine, starvation. They needed to hold on to the food that they had because they weren't sure if they would have access to more food. So your body often holds on to this as fat because it says, hey, we might not be getting some food for a while. We're not going to burn calories. We're going to hold on to this food and we're going to use as little calories throughout the day as we can. So how does this work into metabolism? Let's talk about it. We'll see if my computer wants to work. It always gives me an issue when I try to do this. Every single time. I can't figure out why. Okay, so TDEE. This is your total daily energy expenditure. And it's made up of your BMR, your NEAT, your TEF, and your EA, which I've talked about all these things before. I'm going to just run over each one. So your BMR is 60% of your TDEE. It is going to be how many calories your body burns when at rest for organ function, body temperature, just like your daily like living homeostasis. And then your NEAT, I talk about this a ton, is your non-exercise adaptive thermogenesis. So this is walking to work, fidgeting like I do all the time because I'm Italian and I use my hands to talk. So stuff like that. This often, when you have a little calories, NEAT is one thing that's really affected because your body kind of just fidgets less. You're less likely to kind of move around as much. So that's really interesting to me. Once you have little calories, your body is like just less likely to move, even like little activities that you don't realize you do. And then TEF, thermic effect of food. So this is literally the amount of energy required to break down those macronutrients, your carbs, your fats, your proteins, and then we have alcohols. So protein is actually the highest thermic effective food. So it takes the most energy and calories to break down 1 gram of protein compared to anything else. So that's why a high protein diet often leads to weight loss, and just it's easier to lose weight and also gain muscle because that protein is working towards, strengthening your muscles and providing your muscles with energy as well. And then your EA, exercise activity, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. It actually is one of the least ones that burns calories. Okay. So metabolic adaptation and weight loss. So when you decrease calories, your body naturally, like I said, thinks that there's famine near. So we slowly stop burning as many calories. I think I've said this. I'm going to beat that to death because it's so important to remember. Though this is why when you decrease your calories, you see people lose weight pretty quickly. But often they end up plateauing or they slowly start to gain weight. This is because of metabolic adaptation, which takes at least 2 weeks, depending on the person and your activity level and how many calories you really went down. But this is why so often when we start cutting calories, we're like, oh, it's working. And then we don't see progress for so long. And it could be just adjusting your calories slowly. So, I do put some clients through a cut. You just have to slowly decrease your calories. You can't cut them quickly. You can decrease your calories, but at first increasing your calories and getting it to a higher level is going to be sustainable and going to make it so much better for your body. And you're still going to be able to, put a lot of work into the gym. Okay, I think that's all I want to talk about there. So if you do diet too quickly, it's actually been shown that the body actually gains more adipose tissue, adipose cells. And because you go from dieting for so long and you just kind of adjust like all over the place, you don't like strategically move down in your calories or strategically go up in your calories. And your body's just like confused and it can it's not sure what to do. So slowly decreasing or slowly increasing is really the point here. And I'm going to talk more about cutting phase, maintenance phase, bulking, and reverse diets in a different PowerPoint, just because there's so much that I think it'd be a little overwhelming. So I want to break each one of those down for you guys so you understand. So broken metabolism. I love this because we all talk about it. We've all heard it. We're really essentially talking about metabolic adaptation when we talk about a broken metabolism, right? Like people are usually saying, my metabolism is broken because they're eating little food and they're not seeing weight loss. And this could be, just from improper calorie intake or extreme dieting. And what they really need to do is slowly increase their calories. But often, right, we think, oh, our metabolism is broken. I can only eat this much or I'm going to gain weight. Well, that's true in that point because you've metabolically adapted to a low amount of calories, and continuing to decrease your calories is not the answer. And so one example I like to give is, so say you are eating 1,400 calories a day, which is not a lot. Every time you eat over 1,400 calories, you're eating in a caloric surplus. So you're eating over your maintenance calories because you've metabolically adapted to 1,400 calories a day. It's pretty easy to get over 1,400 calories for sure. So it's probably easy to get over by like almost 1,000. So every time you're overeating, you're going to gain more weight, gain more fat. You're not going to burn that because your body's so used to the 1,400 that every single time it's going to hold on to that because it's saying, oh, I'm not going to get this. And 1,400 calories is not a lot, but it's what I see so often. That's what my clients come to me eating. It's mind blowing to me, but it's just how society has taught us that we need to eat little calories. And then you get to a point where you're so used to eating that amount of calories that more days than not, it's hard to get 1,400, but every single time you get over, you're eating over by probably 1,000 calories, which is super detrimental. Think about it. If you were eating 2,000 calories and every time you ate 3,000 calories, you'd be eating so much food. That's essentially what's happening when you're eating 1,400 calories and then you go to eat 2,000 calories the next day. Okay. So finding your maintenance calories. I've talked about this a little bit too. You can use a BMR calculator online and then multiply by 1.55 to get an idea of your maintenance calories. It is a rough estimate. I am telling you, do not let that be your holy grail. Do not follow that. It is dependent on your type of body, your activity, sleep. It is dependent on so many things. And I did it just to give you an example. It says I should be eating 1,900 calories a day for my maintenance with my activity. I put my activity level in there. I've been eating 2,300 to 2,500 calories, if not sometimes more, because, I'm okay with being a little bit in a surplus because I'm trying to gain muscle. And I've also been a little more lenient this summer, but usually I'm between 2,300 and 2,500. For 10 months, I've been like that. And I have fluctuated between 124 pounds and 129 pounds, depending on my period, my stress level. It goes up and down on a daily basis, honestly. And that's pretty common. Water intake. I do drink a ton of water if you know me. So if I were to eat 1,900 calories, I would be so hungry, so miserable, fatigued. I probably wouldn't be able to work out like I do. I would not be able to work night shift, then day shift. I would not have any energy. And I know this from when I did my first reverse diet where I increased my calories. It was like I woke up every day and drank a whole pot of coffee because I had so much more energy. If I were to go back down to 1900 calories, even when I do a cut, I can cut and be like 2000 calories and still lose weight. And I don't even need to really be at 2000. I could be at 2100, honestly. So for me to go to 1900 calories a day, it would be rough. It would be hard. So that is just an example. If you do go on and get like a maintenance calorie idea, don't let that make or break you because it's not going to be super accurate. A good way to check. I do weekly weigh-ins and progress pictures of myself and with my clients. You can do daily weigh-ins. You just have to make sure that you are doing it under the same circumstances. So the best way to do this is as soon as you wake up, you have no clothes on, you have either had a bowel movement or not. You kind of need to know that because that can be a couple pounds, honestly. You should not be eating anything. You should not be drinking anything. You literally just roll out of bed and step on the scale. I don't know about you. I don't want to do that every single day. It's just not going to happen. My daughter would probably be like, what are you doing, Mom? Anyways, so weekly, do your progress pictures, weigh yourself, measure yourself. I do a waist measurement. Sometimes I do a glute measurement because that's kind of been my goal, back and forth depending on what I'm doing. And then pay attention to your biofeedback. I've talked about biofeedback. Are you sleeping well? How are your moods? How's your menstrual cycle? What's going on with all of that? Are you feeling super hungry? Things like that. Often I have clients come to me, we've been increasing their calories and they're like, I'm feeling hungry. Why am I feeling hungry? And it makes them nervous. This is amazing. If you're increasing your calories and you're starting to be more hungry, your metabolism is increasing. It's adapting to the new calories. That is exciting. It went from, you were eating 1400 calories, feeling like crap all day. Now you're eating 1900, you want to eat more. That is good. That's good. I have to always reiterate that. But if you're eating more and you're feeling bloated, you're feeling too full, you're like, oh, I couldn't possibly shovel this into my mouth anymore, then stop increasing calories. Wait, let it ride out for a little bit, a couple weeks. You can go a couple weeks. You don't have to. I always tell people you can increase 50 to 100 calories each week, every 2 weeks, every day. It really depends on your body, how you're feeling, your energy level. These biofeedback markers are so important. So just don't forget that. And, that's going to be what's really going to set you apart for this compared to all those yo-yo dieting things you've done, all those, diet hacks, whatever. This is what's different, is we are hacking our body, essentially. We are working with what we've been given biologically to lose weight, gain muscle, and make it sustainable. Okay. That's all I really want to talk about. Oh, if you haven't started tracking food or weighing food, I did talk about this a little bit. It really helps. I talked about that a little bit today, especially with your condiments. Like I posted a picture on the Facebook group, and 132 calories of peanut butter really isn't a lot. It's like that much. It's really not a lot. And often we could be just having these healthy snacks and overeating by hundreds of calories. Or a tablespoon of dressing could be really 3 tablespoons of dressing. That's almost like 400 calories right there. So weighing those things are really important, and that's going to help figure out where your calories are at, which is a part of this metabolic adaptation. That's why I went there with that. Okay. Keep an eye out. I am super excited for the maintenance. I'm going to do maintenance, cutting, reverse dieting, bulking. It's going to be a bomb PowerPoint, and hopefully I can get it done soon now that Rye's in school. Okay. I think that's all. If anybody has any more questions, don't be afraid to message me. I love talking about it. Bye, guys.